Finally, I was walking around one day, and I was feeling so good about the way things were going. And I had actually forgotten all about that great desire I had had for God to show me the image of what Mary would look like if she lived in my place and time. For so long, I had prayed for that. I mean, daily. And every time I'd open a magazine, I would think, maybe this is the moment. Maybe this is when I'm going to flip to an image, and I'm just going to get it, and it's going to click for me what Mary would look like in this day and age. I'd forgotten all about it. I walked into a room, and I saw something, and I had this moment of certainty. I've only had one or two other moments like this in my life where I was so positive that the Lord was present with me in a real way and that he had revealed something to me. And there were no usual questions like, am I making this up? Is that my subconscious? It was one of the few moments where I knew that this was from the Lord. I saw an image, and I knew that this was his answer for me about what Mary could look like if she lived in the modern time. Does anyone have a guess of what it might have been? A mirror. And as I looked at that image, it's obviously not that Mary would wear purple pants or have blue eyes or have albino-colored skin. It's not that. The message that the Lord was trying to tell me is that the image of perfect goodness and perfect holiness and perfect devotion to the Lord, it could look like me. I could be someone on fire for the Lord and obedient to the Lord like Mary was. And I needed to stop thinking of her level of love as something that just wasn't for people like me. You know, Mary would surely have a tan and, look much different than me. And I always thought of her as so other than me. And to look in that mirror and see that was to realize that I was not so different than Mary. She was a woman like me. I'm not conceived without sin, but that I could love the Lord and imitate Mary, and that was not something that was off limits to me. And so I have a challenge for you. Next time you walk in a room with a mirror, don't look at your reflection immediately. Avoid the mirror, take a minute to walk close, and pause and tell yourself, this is what the Blessed Mother could look like if she lived here and now. Pray about that, let it sink in, and then look up and look at yourself in the mirror. When I first converted to Catholicism from lifelong atheism, I used to wonder, why didn't Jesus stick around? Or maybe have his mother stick around. I mean, God can do that. He's omnipotent. God can do whatever he wants. I mean, wouldn't that be so much more handy? We could just go to Jesus and directly talk to him about things. We could have the Blessed Mother here. Oh, it would be fabulous. And it was, God never takes my suggestions. It's so frustrating because I have it all figured out. And that was a real question that I had coming from atheism. It seems like it would be more efficient because then we could all know them. And God really should start taking my advice more often. But so it seemed like that made so much sense. Why didn't he have at least the Blessed Mother stick around so that we could know her personally in this age? And when I had that moment, it made so much sense. Because, if the Blessed Mother did live here and now, how hard would we fangirl her? I mean, we would see her wearing some outfit, and we would all rush down to the store and buy the exact same outfit. We would dye our hair to look like her. I mean, we would be obsessed with being exactly like her. And God had many reasons, I'm sure, for enacting his plan the way he has. But I believe that one of them is because he knew that we would turn to him and say, God, give me this template. Give me an image of what a wonderfully God-glorifying, just Jesus-centered, following woman could look like. And I believe that his answer to us is, She looks like you. Thank you, and God bless you all.